So I have ADHD and I was having difficulty remembering exactly what I bought and what I actually had in my house and keeping track of everything. So I created this little inventory app for myself, but I was going to share it with you guys to see if you wanted to use it. As of right now, it's a web app, so you have to go to the link to get to this page. It's not an app you can download from the App Store. It should work in any web browser. And the primary login mechanism right now is Google. So you do need a Gmail or Google account in order to log in. And you just log in here, and I've already been running some tests, but because I have difficulty remembering certain things, I was trying to create an app that was fairly easy to use and searchable for a home inventory. So for example, like I do like home projects, so if I have certain types of screws, I can type in screw, and as you can see, I at least have 2 different types of screws inventoried so far. So when you're in like Lowe's or Home Depot, you could be like, do I need 3-inch wood screws? And you could type in screw, and all of your screws will pop up, and you can decide, what you have, if you still have them. And as you can see here, I go into the item, and this also gives me ideas about the location. So in this case, it's in my garden section, which is near my garage, and it's on the top shelf. So I know exactly where my screws are, because again, I had this thing where I would forget where I would put things. It works for a variety of things. So for example, let's say you're shopping and you did some grocery shopping and you want to keep track of the stuff that you have in your fridge, because a lot of my food kept going bad too. I would leave it in there for months. So let's say I bought, some steak or whatever, and I have 1 package of a steak. We're going to categorize it as food. In this case, I'm going to just throw it in the freezer. And as you can see, I went and bought it today. And because I bought some steak, I can just hit beef, and it'll set an automatic expiration date. And you can save that item. I can go here. Here's my test steak, and I can see I have 1 package of it. It's in the freezer, and it's set to expire around December 20th, 2026. And you will get notifications when you log into your app. You will be able to see what's expiring or what has expired. So test expiration, we'll say 1 month. So as you can see, I typed in a couple of test cases, and you have things that are expiring soon, things that are expiring within a week. So if you need to cook it soon, you can do that so you can save some money. But also if it's expired within 2 weeks or 1 month. So when you throw things or food into your freezer or your pantry and you set the expiration date, you will get notifications about what's expiring soon. Or, maybe you haven't checked it in a while and these things will be expired. So you'll at least know, okay, I have these items, they expired, and the date that they expired. And, expiration doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but these might be one of the things where you're like, okay, I need to actually use this soon, so I don't waste food. The other aspect is, let's say I have dog treats. We get about 14 of them. You can leave this as general food consumable. It's up to you. You can also add tags. I already have a tag here called pet. I'm just going to add that to it, and it adds the tag there. And you can create new tags as well, and you can set a low stock threshold. So if you know that you want to add this to a shopping list, you can set it to a threshold, and you can get updates. We'll see. Let's go. I have a couple different pet things already. Now let's go to the search page itself. We'll type in the pet tag so I can see all the different types of things I have that are related to my pets. We have dog treats. So, I'm going to consume these units as I use them until we get to the low number. Now we're going to go home. Now, as you can see, when we go home, we now have 2 things that are in stock that we can either decide to add to a shopping list, or we can just go ahead and delete that, right? And as you can see, when we go there, we added it to our shopping list. We have our test dog treats. So as I'm shopping, you have this automatic shopping list, so you can either add it yourself as things get low if you choose to, or if you just ignore it and you keep deleting, using your inventory, it will automatically add it to the list. So we got 1. Not going to add any tags. We have a threshold of 1. It's going in the pantry. It has an expiration date. So we set that there. So what we're going to do is, I have 2 tests, but I'm just going to go ahead and deplete that, and it's gone. Then I'm going to go to my shopping list, and as you can see, I have test soda added to the shopping list. So as I'm shopping and I'm checking things off my list, we'll say we get chicken wings, we get the test dog treats, right? I can even do this when I get home, or I can do this as I'm shopping. So if I'm going to buy these dog treats, for example, I can go ahead and just re-add them to the inventory since they're already part of the list, give them my quantity, add my tags, and, set my thresholds, and then save my item from my shopping list, then go back to search, and sure enough, they're my test dog treats right there in my inventory. Just some general things. You can sort by the type. So in this case, I sorted by freezer, and now I have nothing but exactly what's in my freezer. Sort by your pantry if you want to see what you have. You can sort by food or general, however you want to do it. Like I said, you can search for it by your tags. So I have a lot of things on the top shelf, for example. So I can search top and, that tag pops up. And these are all of the things that I have that I put on my top shelves. So same thing here, the 3-inch wood screws, they're on the top shelf in my garden section. Or they're in the top shelf in my bathroom closet. So there's a quick browse here that does effectively the same thing when you go to the main inventory page. But so if you just want to see, okay, what do I have in my freezer? Okay, this is what I have in my freezer. Settings, you have your accounts. You can back up your JSON data locally. And, if you do your entire inventory and you just want to keep a copy, you can just back up your JSON file and you can save that JSON file to one of your cloud storage. So if something happens, you can always pull that down and just import it right back up here. These are notifications. Notifications aren't in real time because this is a web app. It's not an application that's sitting on your phone. So you won't get notifications until you log back into the app. But that's how notifications work, and we can reset app data. So if you just want to delete everything and start over fresh for whatever reason, you can do that, but it's the danger zone for a reason. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop the link in this form. If you guys want to test it out, let me know. You can go ahead and I'll drop my email too. So if there's issues, you can go ahead and just email me to let me know about any issues with the application you may find or things you may think I can improve upon. That would be helpful. Like I said, I'm just testing things right now with my own stuff, but I figured it might be useful for some other people who are like me, save you some money. And yep, keep track of everything in your house. All right, thanks, bye.